the first thing we do is we look out into the world and say, okay, how can I be valuable? How can I be valuable to the world? Can I sing a pretty song? Can I go catch fish? How can I be valuable to the world? And that's what we begin to do from childhood, is to push ourselves out and begin to find value, because we've inherited this spiritual unworthiness. Does that make sense? And those of you that have been in metaphysics for a long time, how many of you have been studying metaphysics for over 10 years? Okay. Still, is this an issue with you? Together?
Yes.
Yes. It's still a challenge because it has been so ingrained in us, and the world is formed around that belief that you must prove worth. You must prove worth. I had someone say to me the other day, so-and-so hasn't earned your love. No. No, they haven't. I was lying. So-and-so doesn't have to earn my love. Do you hear me? You don't have to earn love of your father and mother. My child doesn't have to earn my love. Oh my goodness. They're my child. They're my children. That whole idea of unworthiness permeates all that we are, and it's time to shift it. Ready? Shifting. Here we go. All right. What we have done traditionally is we look for ways to roll, ways to be valuable, ways to determine that we are absolutely of value in the world. And this is what they said. What if Jesus had said, hey man, check out the healings. Do check it out. I raised the guy from the dead. How cool is this? What if he had done that? What if he had said, look at the miracle. Look what just happened. This is way cool. Would we have remembered anything he said? Would we have heard the message? We would have not heard anything because we would have focused on the outer. That's why he so downplayed every miracle. He so downplayed the outer because it is not, that was not his message. His message was not School of Miracles. Sign up, I'm going to teach you how to do it. Because he certainly could have, couldn't he? Could have had a school that lasted forever, teaching people how to do miracles. His message was, you're a child of God. I'm a child of God. And that enables us to do miracles. That was the message. Miracles were the byproduct. But if he had focused only on the product, the byproduct, we would have lost all the teachings. So, how do we shift from where we are to child of God? There's a story that I love in here. It's in the Aquarian. It's chapter 92. This is a story. Jesus is at a village, and there's a fire in the village, and he saves a child, and then everything resonates, fire's gone, and they're going back to where he was staying to have dinner. And this little child comes up to him, this little girl, and she says, Master, she apparently heard him rescuing the baby out of the fire, so she knows this guy's got some good stuff. And she says, I need some help. She laid her hand on Jesus' arm and said, Please, Master Jesus, my father is a drunken man. My mother works from morn till night and brings her wages home, and my father snatches them away and squanders every cent for drink. And my mother and the little ones were hungry. Please, come with me and touch my father's heart. He is so good and kind when he is just himself. I know it's the wine that makes him another man. Now, how would we define him if we were looking at him from the outer? With a kind and generous heart? Probably not. We'd probably tell his wife, run. We would not have a generous heart for this. Jesus went out with the child and he found the home. He spoke in kindness to the mother and the little ones, and he found the bed of straw where he found the drunken man. He took the man by the hand and raised him up and said, My brother man, made in the image of our Father God, will you arise and come with me? My brother man, made in the image of our Father God. I see who you are. I see beyond what you're choosing to experience. I see beyond the behavior you're choosing to invest your time in. I know who you are. You are made in the image and likeness of our Father God. When we quicken and remember that, what opens before us? Everything. Then he said to this man, Jesus is talking, your neighbors are in sore distress. They've lost all they've had in this fierce fire. The men must build their homes, and you and I must lead the way. Then the man and Jesus walked out to look at the wrecks. They heard the moms crying and the children's crying. And Jesus said, here is a work for you to do. Just lead the way in helpfulness, and I'm sure the men of Bethany will furnish you with the means and the help. And the spark of hope that had so long been smoldering in the man fanned into a flame. He threw his ragged coat aside, and he was himself again. He called for help, not for himself, but for the homeless ones. And everybody helped, and the ruined homes were built again. Then he saw his own poor den, and his heart was stirred. The pride of manhood filled his soul, and he said, this wretched den shall be a home. He worked as he had never worked before, and everybody helped. And in a little while the den became a home indeed, and flowers of love bloomed everywhere. A man was saved, and no one ever spoke a word about neglect or drunkenness, nor urged him to reform. What Jesus gave that man was recognition of his divinity, and then value. Value. You know, he didn't say to the guy, hey, didn't you used to build homes in another life? Do you know how to work with wood? Do you know how to help these people? He didn't take his inventory of behavior. He said, look, you're a child of God. There is a need. Your energy is valuable. Go and lead. Lead. Lead? A man who has been drunk on the bed? Lead? Yes, lead. Go and lead the people to restore, to resurrect. Your energy is valuable. You know, we think that we have to have these outer skills, and we forget the spirit that we have inside. I've counseled so many people, really truly, over the years, and there's a common thread about value. I can't go to the potluck because I don't have the best dish, or I can't cook. I didn't get the best present from my folks for Christmas. I don't think people like me because I have nothing to give. Any squirming going on? I always tell them the best measure of a friendship, you need to remember this, the best measure of a friendship, if you can sit next to someone and enjoy their vibration without a word being said. You just enjoy being in their presence. That's the best measure. When you're honoring spirit, your spirit, their spirit, and valuing the fact that there is a being of light sitting beside you. So, our first step in really beginning to embrace that we are children of God is to recognize and remember we were created in the image and likeness of our Father and Mother God. We were created in the image and likeness of our Father and Mother God. Think with me about infants. Do we love babies? Do we love them?
Yes, we do.
And we go to them and we go, oh, geez, welcome to the planet. I'm so glad you came. And is there anything they do wrong? No. Oh, good, you had a nice little diaper there. Good for you. Oh, I love you so. Oh, look at you're so cute. Say, mommy, say, oh, yeah, yay, yay, yay. Then it's no. No. No, you're not acceptable in that way. And I realize that parenting is unique to everybody. But do you think that God ever hits that stage with us? Don't you think God's always going, oh, look at you! Good for you! You're trying! Get up there! We love our children. We love our babies. We don't judge them.